back to another video. This video, I had a really cool idea because I saw something on Instagram. It was a post and the caption was 15-day feminine reset, and it was like the things that I do to connect back to myself and my femininity. And I was like, that is such a good idea, because lately I've been feeling like I've got like this quite anxious energy in my body. I've been really struggling to fall asleep, and I usually never struggle to fall asleep. Like, I'm usually out like a light, and I think that my brain has just been working on overdrive and thinking about a lot of things and overthinking a lot of things, and coming from a point where I feel like I need to be in control of everything, and the results and the success that I can achieve in my life are only a direct byproduct of like how hard I'm working and how much I'm in my masculine and how much action I'm taking. I have operated from that point and from that kind of energy for pretty much my whole life, and over the last year or two I've been really trying to strip it back and have more trust in source, universe, God, whatever you kind of want to call it. I don't really know what I call it. I just kind of think of it as like my higher self and like the universe. It's such a soothing place to be in when you're in a spot where you're consistent and you're doing the right actions and you're putting hard work in, but you also have so much deep trust that it's all going to work out for you regardless, and that you're always on the highest path of good. I thought that was a drone there. It's just a plane. And I just really want to connect deeper to that, and that is one of the goals that I set for the second half of 2025, is just to connect deeper to my intuition, connect deeper to my magnetism and to my feminine magnetism. And I thought it would be so cool to take you guys along for a 14-day feminine reset. So if any of you are struggling with feeling like you're always go 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 and you're very masculine and you're kind of just sick of approaching your goals from this very hard energy and very stagnant energy, then hopefully this gives you some ideas as well to reconnect to your femininity and reconnect to that aspect of you that just wants to let go and trust. And I also want to disclaim, this is not about being like, okay, cool, now I'm just not going to do anything, I'm going to trust that everything's going to work out for me. Absolutely not. But if you're listening to this and you're like, yes, this is me, then there's a high chance that you're someone who's like a hustler and she's often too in her masculine, so that's not even going to be like a thing that happens at all. So I've put together some ideas for what I want to do for this feminine reset in my notes, and I'm just going to kind of take you guys through one by one as I'm doing this in the next 14 days. I've just gotten back from my afternoon walk. It's like 3:45ish, and I've made the executive decision to take the rest of the afternoon off. I feel like I've gotten into this pattern of telling myself that I need to work from 9 to 5, and like just having that kind of boundary in my mind where it's like, I actually don't need to do that. Like, I can have a bit more flexibility in my days, and I feel like that's not a bad thing. Like, some seasons I will definitely want to kind of have longer work days, and that might even be longer, like 8 till 6 or 7 or whatever it is. But at the moment I feel like I'm forcing myself to do it to keep me busy and to actually avoid thinking about what my brain wants to think about, which is like taking a second to pause, create space, and like just kind of create clarity around where I want to take my next steps forward in content and in my business and all the different things. So I'm going to be doing the first one of the feminine reset activities, which is resting guilt-free. What I'm going to do is just have a big shower. I'm just like craving feeling fresh. I'm going to do a hair mask as well, put some rosemary oil in my hair, and then I'm going to go outside and do some journaling for the afternoon. Then I'm going to grab some groceries, do a big fresh grocery haul, because I haven't really done that for the weekend. It's already Wednesday, so I definitely need to do that. Zach's coming over for dinner tonight, so I need some fresh food for us for dinner. And just take the afternoon chill. If I feel like doing a little bit more work, I will. I've done everything pressing for the day, so I can actually take the rest of the afternoon a little bit slower. So I just put it in all of my roots, and then I just go in and massage it in to my scalp with my fingers. And I used to be in such a good routine with this, doing it every like fortnight on my hair wash day. Then I ran out and never bought it again, so I'm gonna try and get a bit more diligent with this, and then I can kind of just like get the excess and put it down on the ends, and then I'm just gonna put it in a flat. What the hell? No idea where that fat bruise came from. What in the world? And then I'll just sleep in this tonight, and then when I wash my hair after the gym tomorrow, I'll wash out the oil and kind of probably do a double shampoo because it'll be quite oily. But that is my hair mask routine on hair wash day eve. It looks a bit shiny, but essentially just looks like a slick little plan. Good morning. It is now day 2 of the feminine reset, and today's, well, actually I'll give you an update on how yesterday went. So I was supposed to journal, just wind down for my afternoon. I didn't end up journaling because Zach was coming over and I was like, why didn't I just make a really yummy meal? So what I ended up doing for like my wind down activity was just like cooking and making a really delicious meal, because I feel like I'm usually such a lazy cook and I don't put effort into meals. And I feel like when I think about femininity and stepping into that feminine energy, she cooks and she spends time romanticizing cooking and making delicious meals and trying out new recipes. So that's what I did last night, and it was actually so yum. I made a chicken satay curry. Sorry if you can hear my dog just scuffling in the background. And I made that and it was freaking delicious, and I've got leftovers of it, so even better for me. But for day 2, I thought I would tackle one of the other tasks, which is slowing down my morning. So usually I start my mornings with a gym, a walk, a walk, and then I'll get into work. But this morning I've got about like an hour and a bit before my first work call. So I thought that I would make my coffee and do a new little ritual that I'm doing called EFT tapping. And I think I've mentioned it on the vlog before, but it is essentially you tapping on meridian points on your body that store like energy and chi. So it comes from Chinese medicine, if I'm not mistaken, and it just helps to kind of like move through darkness and feelings of like limiting beliefs and things that are kind of stored in your body and in your subconscious mind. It helps you to tap through them, and I've been quite liking it. I haven't done enough of it to be like, oh my gosh, I really feel a difference, but I want to keep being consistent at it because I'm enjoying the ritual of it anyway. So I'm gonna go downstairs and make my coffee, and then I'm gonna do my little tapping session, and that will be today's activity of slowing down my morning. Morning guys. So I'm actually filming 2 videos at once this week, because I'm filming my weekly vlog that's going to go up next week, and then this video is going to go up the following week because it's across 14 days. So every time I start the video, you guys obviously won't see it, but I have to like whisper to the camera like feminine reset or like weekly vlog, so I know when I'm putting the clips together which clip is for which video. It's very new, very random experience because I've never done it like this before, but that's why I get a bit confused. I'm like, how many days are we up to? Like, what are we up to? But anyway, we're just gonna keep pushing through. Whatever date is, I'll pop it on the screen. But I thought today's kind of feminine reset activity is actually just going to be my Sunday reset errands, because I feel like a big misconception with femininity and coming into more of your feminine flow and magnetism and all of that is just like flowing and letting go and surrendering in that energy. And whilst that is so important, something that people overlook is the masculine structures that you need to put in place in order to actually create space for that feminine flow, if that makes sense. So for example, me setting myself up on Sunday with all of my masculine kind of errands, like going to the shops, doing my groceries, doing my meal prep, organizing my week, things like that, those masculine structures allow me the presence and the flexibility to be more in my feminine during the week, because I'm not stressing about all the things that I haven't done, right? So that's why I wanted to include this activity into the feminine reset, because I feel like it's one that a lot of people will overlook, and when they think about going more into like their feminine era and letting go and kind of being a little bit more in flow, they miss this step of actually setting themselves up for success. So I'm just going to take you through all of the normal things that I do on a Sunday to reset and to prep for my week, and show you just like little things. It's not a whole freaking day of errands, like it's very simple, but I think the littlest things really do make a big difference in the week when you prep for yourself and set yourself up properly. So something that I love doing at the end of my week, and I used to be so diligent with this, every Friday morning I would take myself to a cafe and do my audit. I haven't been as consistent with it recently, but I really want to get back into it, and that's doing my weekly audits. So I have a page in Notion that I've titled weekly audits, and I've just created a template that I click the button and it will regenerate a new template for me each week, and I'll show you it here. So essentially I ask myself, what am I grateful for this week? What did I do well / what am I celebrating, and what kind of contributed to these things going well? Didn't you do well? What is your plan to improve that upon next week? What are 3 things you learned? And then if I was already earning my dream income, what habits, beliefs and actions would I embody? What's one thing you can do next week to have more fun and play whilst working towards your goals? So I find that just like a really fun way for me to assess how my week felt, tap more into fun and play and ease, which is a really big theme that I'm focusing on at the moment. And then also just to kind of assess like, what didn't I do so well? And often I'll look back on my audit from the week before and have a look at what my goals were. So for example, last week I said, actually no, this was 2 weeks ago, didn't reach out to 150 brands per week, which was my goal. I only did about 30. And then I just realized I didn't do that again this week. And this is such an interesting kind of practice to take yourself through, because you can really start to identify subconscious blocks of like, okay, why am I continuing this pattern? Why am I not reaching out to the brands that I want to be reaching out to do UGC work? What is holding me back there? Because a lot of the time when we are repeating a pattern, it's because we're gaining from it. So being able to have this data, it kind of just reminds you like, oh yeah, I said that was going to be my goal, but I didn't work towards it. Like, what is happening here? Why is this holding me back? So I'm going to go ahead and do my audit from the week that's just been. But what is so cool is on the 21st of July when I did this audit, I said I'm celebrating hitting 50 subscribers on YouTube, and today I just hit 100, which is just so cool because that was literally only 2 weeks ago and I doubled my subscribers. So very, very fun kind of little ways to reflect on how much progress you are making, because it's not just about seeing what you can do better, it's also about creating space to celebrate yourself for the things that you are actually achieving. And if you guys want this template, I will pop a link in the description box below for you to be able to just duplicate this and have it in your Notion. If you don't already have a Notion account, I highly recommend creating it, because it is just such a beautiful kind of platform to organize your life, to just have just a really organized template. So I'll pop the weekly audit templates below, but if you do want to have my whole kind of weekly planner and organizer, which has like a to-do list template, habit trackers, all of that, I'll also link below the link for you to purchase. I think it's like $30, so it's nothing hectic, but it is just like a comprehensive Notion portal. So if you're like, I don't want to bother creating my own, I just want to kind of steal someone else's, I will pop that in the link in the description box as well. Okay, I've had a very slow but nice Sunday so far. It's 3:30 now and I'm gonna go and do my grocery shop. But I thought I would also show you guys how I organize my shop in Notion to make it super easy for me. So I have a page in Notion called grocery, and I just put under each category fruit, meat, staples, and then other / recipe specific ingredients. And then what you can also do in Notion is embed recipes. So I've got my 2 recipes in there that I'm going to be creating this week, and that way I can kind of create a bit of a recipe library and just embed the links. So this week I'm making Lebanese like pita toasted kind of wrap things for lunches, and then a 1-pot chicken risotto for dinner, which both sound so freaking good. So I've just kind of got this template that I will reuse every time I do my grocery shop. It's got all of my staples, my meat, my fresh food that I always buy each week, and then on the category that's like recipe specific food, oh, it's an Australian Shepherd, he's so cute. Recipe specific things that I will just add in, and then I can delete them obviously when I don't need them anymore. But I thought that was a really easy way to just make grocery shopping very simple by just reusing that template. But something that did hit me this afternoon when I was walking Kodo was that when I do move out of my into my apartment, he's not going to be able to come with me. He's going to move in with my family. So I was walking him and I was like, this is going to be like the last, not one of the last, that's dramatic because I've still got all of August, most of September before I move, but one of the last walks that I get to take him on, which makes me really freaking sad. So I was just getting sentimental on my walk and just like, okay, let's take in these walks because our days are numbered. Obviously I'm going to go visit him, but still sad times. Let's go and do this grocery shop and stop procrastinating. And I need to remember to take this coin in with me so I can use a little trolley, because I hate having to have a basket and like weighing down my arm and hurting my elbow crease. Like, it's not for the girls. So I need to remember that. I have just finished making this chicken risotto and it literally tastes so freaking good. It's just simmering now to kind of reduce a bit of the liquid, but essentially the consistency is meant to be like a creamy kind of pasta, but obviously there's a little bit too much liquid at the moment, so it's just kind of stirring off. But then I've got the chicken to go on top of it and I'm so excited to eat this. I've been trying to experiment more with different recipes and actually trying to put effort into what I cook rather than just doing like burrito bowls meals all of the time, and I feel like this is really expanding my repertoire of meals, and I'm just building out my little library in Notion. Something that I mentioned to Zach that I want to start doing is when he comes over on Wednesday nights is to do like a new recipe every Wednesday night, because Wednesday nights are like our weekday night that we spend together at my house. So this is obviously gonna be kind of like for my meal prep, and then we'll also have it for tonight because he's coming over too. But it's just a fun little way to just cook more recipes, cook for him, have that be something that I like get to do for him as well each week. And I said to him that he can suggest different recipes as well. So if he wants to get his little recipe vote in, I said to him on the weekend, I was like, so I'm gonna start doing this thing. You can suggest recipes. I was like, okay, cool. When do I have to have my recipes in by? And I was like, Monday night you've got to have them in so I can do my shop and I can cook the meal. But yeah, just something fun to kind of spice up the food that we're eating, because we always just eat steaks and like burrito bowls and it kind of gets boring. So this is a new way to kind of just cook more foods, and so far so good. What did I make last week? Oh, I made a chicken satay curry and it was delicious, and then I just kept the leftovers for meal prep, and then I'll be able to have this, and this will probably last me like at least three meals separate from tonight, so 5 meals in total. But with the recipes, I use recipe 10 but I always just like double her protein, because her protein levels are always like really small, so I'll always cook like double the chicken or double the meat or whatever it is that we're using. I thought I would give you guys a bit of an update on how things are transpiring in my world since starting this feminine reset. So I feel like the biggest thing is even just to update you on what happened in this morning's meditation. So Zach stayed over last night and we were doing our meditation this morning, and it was a Joe Dispenza morning meditation, and it was essentially just about getting you into the mindset and the energy of abundance. And we were sitting outside where I always eat my breakfast. I do my meditation, my visualization there like every single morning. I have never seen cockatoos in my backyard, let alone like 2 meters out in front of me on the balcony. And we're meditating, and at one point we both open our eyes because we can hear like birds, but there's usually bush turkeys in my backyard, so we just kind of assumed it was going to be bush turkeys. Open our eyes and this huge cockatoo has just perched itself on the balcony like 2 meters in front of us, and I was like, what the hell, like this is so weird. Cockatoos never come up to my backyard, like I never see cockatoos in my backyard. I sit out here every single morning, and I was like, this is strange. I'm definitely searching up the spiritual meaning of this after. And then another cockatoo comes, equally as big. They're just huge cockatoos sitting on the balcony just staring at us and just perching there and just kind of doing their thing, like moving their head around, just staring for a couple of minutes. And I was like, this is so strange. And so after the meditation, I searched up what the meaning of cockatoos are, the spiritual meaning obviously, and it said cockatoos symbolize happiness, success and fulfillment. In other words, when your spirit animal visits you, it says that you should expect a miracle. And then it also said it's seen as a link between the human and spiritual world. Like how crazy is that we're doing a meditation outside, I never see cockatoos out there, and then in this meditation when we're both kind of like coming into this energy of abundance and fulfillment, 2 cockatoos visit us, not just one, but one for each of us. I was like, this is insane. So that was a bit of a crazy story, and I feel like little things like that just keep popping up and keep happening, where it's like just affirming my belief and like just keep doing what you're doing, keep trusting the process, because it's all working out and you're being guided as well. And I feel like that's a huge part about leaning into your femininity, is releasing the need to control every single little thing and to predict the outcome, predict the path, feel like you've got to be like iron grip on like the path towards your dreams and your goals, but actually leaning more into your feminine and trusting like I'm doing my part in it. But there's also like a higher power, whether you want to say it's universe or God or whatever it is, there's also a high kind of power and energy behind what I'm doing as well, because this desire is on my heart for a reason. And yeah, like so insane. So I thought I would just give you that update because I found that so mind-blowing this morning. I am just off to go work at a cafe for the morning. Mondays are my heavy laptop days doing a lot of client work, so I like to just take myself to a cafe to do them, to make it just feel a little bit more fun for me. I thought I would show you the outfit as well, because I think it's really cute today. These jeans are just from Princess Polly, a really nice like straight leg loose fitting jean. I'm loving this style, but it's also got like a really nice cool buckle detail there. Then I'm just wearing my top from Elite Entitled. I do have a affiliate code with them, so I'll pop that in the description box. And then I've got a double jacket layer on because it's freaking freezing. So this is my LSKD. I've been literally wearing this every single day. I'm obsessed with the fit of this. It's just such a cute warm jacket to wear when you're going like on a hot girl walk and you don't want to wear like a big fat puffer, like you want to wear something a little bit more skin tight. So I have been absolutely loving this jacket, and I also do have a code for them as well, because I would just honestly highly recommend some sort of like tight zipper jacket for winter. It's just so cute. And then this jacket I got from Glassons the other weekend when I visited my friend in Canberra, and it's just been such a nice kind of stylish oversized jacket to pop on when I'm kind of like out and about. That's my fit. I did do a big shop online on Friday because I'm going to America, as I've mentioned, and I just like I'm in this vibe of wanting to just really up level my style, and I feel like that was one of my goals at the start of the year, is to really just find my own personal style, but I feel like I hadn't really found any clothes that really like spoke to me, if that makes sense. Like really like, oh, that looks so cool, like I would see myself wearing that and I feel like I would feel really confident in that, up until like honestly like probably the past week or two when I've just been on Pinterest finding all of these like styles of clothes. I'm like, oh, that looks so cool, like I love the look of that, I really want to get that for myself. So I've just been adding different clothes on, hit my Pinterest board for like 2025 style, and just kind of finding little bits and pieces as I go. And I feel like now's the perfect time because I'm going to America, so I just want to get like cool vlog footage in my new clothes, cool pictures, just feel really fun and confident when I'm there as well. I feel like having outfits that you love when you're traveling just honestly makes the experience that much better. So I'm kind of using that as an excuse to do more online shopping recently, but I would give you guys a haul, whether it's in this vlog if it arrives or the next vlog, of what I get, because I'm really excited and it's just like fun and fresh, because I haven't really been one to do much online shopping as of recent because I was putting a lot of money into my business, investing in mentorship and stuff like that, so I was trying to save a lot of money. But now I'm just coming into a season where I'm really wanting to invest in myself in a different way, in my clothes, and in feeling good in myself in that way. So I'll show you that when I get it, but I'm gonna go to a cafe now and do my work. I know I gave you guys an update recently around this reset and how I'm feeling with it, but honestly I feel like I have had so many shifts with my brain in terms of productivity and feeling like I need to have the pressure to constantly be productive. I feel like doing this reset has really just like reset that default mode of thinking, and I'm really starting to enjoy just taking more pockets of time and space in the day and not feel guilty about just like slowing down a little bit. For example, I had a morning call this morning and that was pretty much like the only productive worky thing that I did, and then it was like 11:30 and I was like, I'm gonna take myself for a walk outside because it's so nice and sunny and I don't know when the sun's gonna go away, and it has now gone away. And so I went on for my walk and it was so lovely. So now I'm gonna cook my lunch, and this has been something that I've been loving in this reset, comes my dog, of just making more space and time to cook foods. And even just coming downstairs, I was like, oh, I need to make this quickly. I'm so annoyed that I don't have meals prepped because now I have to cook my lunch. And I'm like, no, hang on, you are lucky to be home being able to cook your lunch, so let yourself just enjoy the process. So what I'm gonna do is put on one of my favorite vloggers, cook my lunch. I'll pop on the screen what I'm cooking. I'm so excited for it. I've cooked a version of this before, but this is a recipe to Nate's recipe, and if you know, you know, her recipes are so freaking good. So I'm just going to cook that and enjoy this time cooking my lunch. Good morning guys. I literally just wanted to start vlogging so I could show you my outfit today because I think it's so freaking cute. So I've got the brown flares and the matching sports bra. I've done my hair differently today as well. It is literally so greasy. I'm on like day 5 probably hair, but Zach wanted to do a sauna today, so I was like, I'm not going to wash it yesterday because that would be silly. I'm going to sweat all into it. So, and I didn't really feel like doing a slick back, so I've just slicked back to the top and put in a little clip, and I think that actually looks really cute. And then I've been, whenever I have greasy hair, I just sleep with it in plaits, because that way when it is out, the bottom is just a little bit wavy, which adds a little bit of a cute texture. I am on my way to go start apartment hunting. I am so excited, guys. This is the first time I've ever done this before in my entire life. I am literally so excited. It's in an area of Sydney that I absolutely love and will be moving out to in October when I come back from America. But I thought it'd be a really good idea to just like suss out the area, get a feel for where I would want to ideally be moving into. I've mentioned it before in a vlog, but I am moving out with my friend Caitlin. She has been on the vlog actually. We're very excited, but because I'm going to America, I thought I would just start looking now. Obviously it's too soon for me to get an apartment now. It's only early August, so none of these apartments probably will be our apartment, but I thought it would still be a good idea. And to just like get in the vibes too, of like get in the vibes of moving out, because it's going to be very hectic once I do get back from America, because my family home, they're all moving out as well, so it's a whole kind of thing. But the timing of it honestly worked out really perfectly. Zach couldn't come and Caitlin couldn't come this morning, and I was like, I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna make a little solo date out of it. I've got 2 viewings, one at 11 AM, which is in 6 minutes, and then one at 12 PM. So I'm gonna have a little break in the middle of them and take myself to a cafe. I've got my Kindle, so I'm gonna read my book, probably order a matcha or a coffee, and just make a morning out of it. And I'm so excited. This is today's activity of just to like spend your weekends, or even if you've got space in the week, your weekdays, romanticizing your adventures, driving that little bit further to a new cafe that you've always been wanting to try. Take yourself on a solo date if no one else is free to join you. Like, it's so freeing to not have to wait for people to be free for you to just do the things that you want to do. You can be like, no, I want to do that, so I'm going to go and take myself.
Chapter 2. Let's rock. Can you take it to the top? Just wanna love you. Can you take control? Just wanna love you. I think I like how your body feels next to me.
Alright, I have finished the 2 inspections for the morning. Both of them were cute. First one was very, very small living room, and the bedrooms are just very tiny as well, which to be expected in these apartments in Sydney. But the second one that I just visited now had a really nice spacious living room, balcony, which we really want to make sure we've got, and the bedrooms weren't too bad. So I think I'm gonna head to the shops now, because if you've been following me on Instagram, my latest side quest is makeup, and I really want to get into my makeup. So I've got about an hour and a half before I need to be at Zach's footy, so I'm gonna head to the shops, go to the Bondi Mall, go to the Mecca, grab some makeup, and then meet Zach at footy. I am currently in the car again on a road trip again. I feel like I've been driving so much over the last week. I'm getting really tired. Like, just being in the car makes me really drowsy. Doing something exciting today. I am driving down to Wollongong. So if you are a Sydney gal, you would know Wollongong is down south. It's probably about an hour and a half drive to meet with my team member and get some photos together. Not together, she's gonna take photos of me. Doing brands work and stuff, obviously I need to be taking content. It gets a little bit boring if I'm just taking content in my house, in my room. So we've been making more of an effort to go to cafes. We're gonna do 3 locations today: cafe, a gym, and car park. Even though a part of me really wanted to just stay home today, have a chill Sunday, I was like, no Taylor, you have a chill Sunday every single weekend. You can get out of your comfort zone this weekend, make the drive, get some cool photos. Even just like the act of taking photos, getting dressed up, doing your makeup. I'm wearing some of the new makeup that I bought yesterday, and I really love it. I got a Charlotte Tilbury Glowy Foundation stick, and it's like a very hydrating, has like a slight like sparkle to it. It's not like sparkly, but like has a bit of a sheen to it, so it was really cute. Got that. Got a Becca home brand bronzing cream stick, which is actually so good. Very glad I got it. And then a foundation buffing brush. Getting organized with your friends and like going to a cafe or somewhere to take photos is such like a beautiful, feminine, confidence-boosting thing, because when you have good photos of yourself, you're like, oh, I am a hot bitch. But when you never make an effort to get dressed up, you don't know what you could look like.
No matter how I feel or what I do, yeah.
Today's activity I'm so freaking excited for. So basically, we're going to be redoing my life manifesto. So if you haven't really heard of the concept of a manifesto before, it's basically a written out vision board is the way that I think about it. I typed up and I added in photos as well of what my life looks like when I'm 25 years old. So that is not even 2 years from now, because I turned 24 in February. So it's like a year and a half from now, which is kind of crazy. But I basically wrote like, my name is Taylor, I'm 25 years old, and I truly feel like the main character of my life. And then I've written out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, but it's got photos in there, so probably more like 2, 3 pages worth. What my career is like, what I do in my free time, what I take pleasure in, what my relationships like, what my friendships are like, how I spend my weekends. It just like writing it made me feel so excited for my future, and has also just allowed me to tap into like what my desires are and get clearer on like what I want to manifest and how I want to even shift in my current reality. Because the way that I see manifestation is like, obviously yes, the part of trusting in the universe and trusting in divine timing and kind of surrendering to that. But also the way that I see it is like when we get clear on our manifestations and our future desires and our visualizations, it actually directs our action in the present moment as well. Because we start to think of like, oh, if I want that thing, I have to show up as that version of me now. And like, these are ways that I could actually do that in my current reality and I don't need to wait. So I thought for the feminine reset, it would be so fitting to rewrite my manifesto. I wrote this on the 7th of the 5th. What's that? May? January, February, March, April, May. 7th of the 5th. And I actually want to read through it and just see which ones have already come true, because I feel like I have had so much growth in these last couple of months. It's August now, so it's been June, July, August, over 3 months. So I would love to just see what has come true. I'm going to put a couple of them on the screen that I'm comfortable with sharing. Obviously some of them are very private, but I'm going to put a couple of these on the screen so that you guys can get a bit of an idea of what you might want to write in your own manifesto. But for this one, I'm going to write one for like the end of this year, so December 2025, because I think that it would be so cool to read back at the end of the year and be like, oh my god, I actually achieved all of these exciting things. And whilst I love a vision board, I feel like I'm someone who words land so hard for me, so I think that will be such a cool thing to do. So most of my work is done for the day, and so what I'm going to do is pick up my mum from the train station. She's finished work, and then I'm going to do a big everything shower because my hair is in much need of a wash. Big everything shower, do my skincare, shave, moisturize, then get in my bed, write my manifesto, put on some fun manifesting music, type it all out, add some pictures, and then cook an early dinner. But that's how I'm going to spend my afternoon, and I'll obviously show you guys what I do. But that is today's activity, and if you do any of these reset activities, this one I would really recommend doing. So a little bit of an update, it is sometime later now and I have done a bit of my manifesto and it honestly has just made me so freaking excited for what is to come. This is kind of, I would do it in themes almost. Like this first page is about my apartment that I'm going to be moving out into. Then the next page is more about my business, content, friendships, health. So I'm just going to keep adding and chipping away on that. Like if you're not doing any sort of visualization or just like getting clear and mapping out what your future looks like, it can be really hard to stay motivated towards your goals, especially if things aren't moving as fast as you want them to be moving, or you're not seeing as much external change, even though there's a lot of internal shifts going on. So if I can recommend anything to do this week, start a vision board on Pinterest for the second half of your 2025. Add pictures that make you feel something. Like don't just add photos that look good or look successful or look aesthetic. Like add photos that make you feel like, oh my god, like that's so exciting, I want that in my life, and this photo like evokes feeling and emotion in me. I just love it. I love it so much, and it's such a nice way to, even if you're stuck scrolling in the morning, if you can block your other social media on Opal and then just like replace your morning scroll with a morning Pinterest scroll, like literally healed, because you're not then comparing yourself to other people online. You're actually just gathering inspiration for your future life, and it just gets you excited to get up, get out of bed, live your dream life in the present moment. So that was such a nice activity to do. I am just coming in to wrap up this video. This was such a fun video for me to make. It was filmed over the course of like 2 weeks because there were just like days where I would sprinkle in these different activities, and I wanted it to be something that felt really flowy and intuitive as I was moving through my week. So I didn't want to force myself to kind of do things. I wanted to bring them into the video as I felt called and as I was actually doing them and embodying them into my life. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I hope this video was helpful in just giving a little bit more inspiration for you girls to bring more femininity and flow and just romanticizing into your life. That sentence doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. There have been an influx of you guys finding my channel over the last week or so, which is so freaking exciting. So if you are new here and you have made it this far to the end of the video, thank you so much for being here, and I would genuinely love to hear from you. So comment down below where you're from and maybe the activity that you are excited to try the most, and I would absolutely love for you guys to keep me updated. I am very active on my Instagram, so if you want to DM me, message me on there and just update me on any of these activities that you are trying and incorporating into your life. I would literally love to hear from you. And as I mentioned during the video as well, I've got that Notion template. So if you are somebody who struggles with organization and I love like an aesthetic habit tracker and an aesthetic kind of weekly schedule organizer, I will pop that in the description box below so you can use that to just organize your week as you get into this routine and start implementing these different little habits into your lifestyle. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you girls next week. Bye.